Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the great and powerful Zilla, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I was asked by several individuals to do a top 5 of ships. Well, okay. I'm going to do a top 5 worst ships for me. Okay, I'm going to do it by class. So we're going to start with destroyers. But first of all, a couple of the rules. Number one, these are worst ships for me, not you or anyone else. These are ships that don't work for me. All right. Number two, only tier 5 and above. Only tier 5 and above. And number three, it's mix and match. There's going to be premiums, there's going to be non-premiums. I'm going to start with this one. This glorious piece of garbage is the Eagle, the French Tier 6 destroyer, if you want to call it that. I hate this ship. This ship is terrible. It's got 7.5 kilometer detection range. I know I don't have a max commander, but come on. That is just ridiculous. Its torpedoes, 8 kilometers. No. Don't like this ship at all. And number 4, we got this ship right here, the Icarus. It's a tech tree ship on the British line. Again, I don't have a max captain on her, but still, her concealment is 6.6 and her torpedoes are 7 kilometers. No, don't like her. Haven't had good luck with her. Tend to get killed. Have some fun games with her. If she works for you, great. But it's one of those ships you got to grind through to get up to tier 10. At number 3, I put this girl right here, the Monahan. The Monahan, on its face, is a good destroyer. She has 7 kilometer detectability with this captain right here and no concealment mod. She has good torpedoes. They do 9 kilometers and they're not that fast, but you get a lot of them. Okay? But she's only got 2 guns in front. So she's not going to contest a cap against other destroyers. And once you've launched your torpedoes, yeah, you're pretty much done. Yeah, you get a torpedo reload, but Monahan, yeah, a little bit weak for me. Alright, at number 2, I hate to do it, but I have to. The Tier 8 Kiev tech tree ship off of the Soviet tech tree line. Now, the Kiev has, okay torpedoes. They're 8 kilometer range, very slow at 55 knots for torpedoes. Her concealment is 7.1. And that's with the concealment mod, and the concealment on the commander. So as low as you're going to get her, it's 7.1. This is not a destroyer. It's a freaking cruiser disguised as a destroyer. The thing is huge. Okay, we finally get to number 1. The number 1, in my opinion, worst destroyer in the game of tier 5 and above is this one, the Minsk. I don't care if she was crafted by the hand of Stalin and blessed by the priest of the Kremlin. It doesn't matter. This ship is just horrible in every way. She's fast as a thief. She's not hiding from anybody at 6.8 kilometers, and her torpedoes have a 4 kilometer range. But to make matters worse for the little Minsk here, and I do have fun playing this ship, but it is a kamikaze. When you get down the Soviet destroyer line and you get to the Minsk, not only do you have to grind her out once to get to Kiev, you got to grind her out twice to get the Ognavoy if you want to go down both of these gunboat lines. The Groznovoy is more of a torpedo boat. The Khabarovsk is more of a gunboat. But in any case, the Minsk is your big block, and you're going to be playing it for a long time. So good luck with that. The poor little Minsk. God, what a piece of work this was. All right, we're going to start in on the cruisers, and I'm going to start by lumping some together. Number 5, I'm going to say the Marblehead Omaha, Murmansk style cruisers. Cruisers that are built like this. While they can hold their own in battle, they're just horrible. They're squishy. Yes, they've got torpedoes, but look at it. I mean, honestly, it's just awful. You know, it's made of guns, but you go through these ships and you're like, what was I thinking? Because at tier 5, you're going to get up tiered, etc., etc. So yeah, this class of ship, this type style ship, would be my number 5. All right, I know there's some people that are going to disagree with me on this one big time, but I would say the Krispy Kreme, or Krasny Krym, means red Crimea. This ship, oh my God, it's awful. It's just awful. It can be citadeled from just about anywhere. Let's take a look at the armor real quick. It's just awful. Enough said. I don't care if it's made of guns. It's terrible. At number 3, I have this ship right here, the Nuremburg. I would lump the Rune into this too, but the Rune, for whatever reason, did well for me. This ship's configuration is her problem. She's got decent artillery, right? I mean, she's got 150 millimeter guns, 5.9 inch. She's got decent maneuverability. She's got okay concealment for a cruiser. But her main armament's in her back. So when you approach the enemy, you either got to go broadside or you got to turn your butt to them and get shot from behind. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I got a tattoo on my backside that says exit only. Yeah. All right. At number 2 is the Emerald, Tier 5 British cruiser. Now, I don't have this ship in my port, but this ship is so freaking fragile that if it gets hit by anything, it blows up. It's made of citadels, matches, and paper mache. And if it's sitting in your port and it sways and hits the quay or the quay, it's going to blow up in your port. This ship. Strong contender for number 1, the Emerald. All right, we finally get to number 1. My choice for my worst experience on a cruiser in the game is this one, the Duce degli Abruzzi. This ship is so bad, it doesn't do anything well. You can't hide. It's got 10.8 kilometers. It can't really defend itself from any aircraft. It's only got 30. Its torpedoes suck. They have a 12-kilometer range, right? You launch 3 per side, and they're slow as heck. Your guns are weedy. They're 6-inch guns, but they're weedy. Okay? It's just terrible. It's terrible. And if you look at the Citadel runs the entire length of the ship. It can be citadeled all over the place. It's terrible. This thing is horrible. I mean, you breathe on it, it blows up. So yeah, the Abruzzi, Tier 7, Premium, Italian Cruiser. What an embarrassment. Okay, we'll start with battleships, and I'll start with my number 5 pick. On its surface, there's nothing wrong with this ship. But the Ashitaka just doesn't work. It doesn't work in ranked for me. It's got great guns. It's got 10, 16.1 inch guns. It's got horrible anti-aircraft defense. It's not slow. It does 30 knots. At tier 7, that's not bad. Of course, it's not going to hide from anything. It's a battleship. But for whatever reason, this ship just gets pounded into oblivion. Part of it is that in order to get its main battery, these 3 guns back here shooting, these 6 guns, you have to turn almost full broadside. So, yeah. Unfortunately, even though I like the ship, at number 5, I have to put the Ashitaka in there. All right? Okay, at number 4, she's no longer in my port, and she looks good. But the Frederick the Great. Friedrich der Große. The Frederick the Great. Oh, they could have done so much better for this ship. But it's kind of the dog before you get to the Kurfürst. There's nothing really bad about the ship. It's just the artillery is inaccurate. She is not that fast at 27 knots. She can defend herself against tier 8 and below anti-aircraft. She's not hiding from anybody. And she's got 72,000 health. Well, what's not to like about her? She's squishy. And a battleship that's squishy ain't a battleship. Okay, continuing with our Hall of Shame at number 3 is a ship that I just adore, but she's bad, and that's the Roma. The Roma is a tier 8 premium Italian battleship, and she looks impressive, and she's beautiful, and sometimes you'll get a good game out of her, and most of the time you won't. And the reason is she seems to be rather easily sunk. And when you shoot at it, the guns are so powerful that if you're shooting at anything less than a battleship, they just overpen. So the damage doesn't add up real quick. But the Roma, number 3 on my list of one of the bad battleships of the game. And number 2, I know some people are going to, what? Yep, the Colorado. The reason I chose the Colorado, because all battleships of this type in the United States Navy are slow. They're so slow. And I don't care that she has 16-inch guns at tier 6 or 7. I don't care. All right, she's slow. 18 knots. And if you get out of position on any map, you're done. You're going to have a bad game. So, the Colorado, you make number 2 on my list. Okay, and finally, my number 1 of bad battleships would be this one. Now, I've had great games on this ship, and I've had horrible games on this ship. The bottom line is, the whole ship is wonky. The way it's designed, the way it's built, the way the armor layout is. It's just the whole thing is just weird. Kind of looks like some kid put together a Lego set and then stuck as many guns on it as he could. And that's basically what it is. The October Revolution, premium Russian tier 5 battleship. Just terrible. Just terrible. Which is weird because the Ismail, which is essentially this ship in the game, plays very well. So go figure. The October Revolution. You play this ship too much, you're going to have a revolution of your own. Now, I'm not going to do a full list of carriers because carriers are in a bad place right now. But if I had to pick one, as of right now, that you should avoid like the plague, it would be, unfortunately, this one, and that is the Chukaku. The Chukaku's planes are not ships. They're not Pringles like other planes are. Her planes are paper planes that are filled with gasoline and high explosive. If you get to a target at all, you might do some damage. Her bombers have armor-piercing bombs. Her torp bombers aren't bad. Her rocket fighters are fake. The planes on her are fake. She never flew these planes off her deck. But yeah, again, it's really not fair because carriers have been gimped so badly. I've gone over this in other videos before, but if you really want to lose a lot of credits and want the height of frustration, go ahead and play a Chukaku in a tier 10 game. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, that's about it. Those are my worst experienced ships in the game. I'm sure there's some that I've forgotten about. Maybe that's a defense mechanism for my psychology, but I'm sure there's some that you'd rather forget about. So, that being said, that's the end of this one. Until next time, you guys be good to each other. Have a great day, and try and keep your ships off of America's least wanted list. Okay?